So where? Where though? Like, literally, there's an E-tank I'm missing. Fucking what the hell? I'm not seeing it anywhere here. Alright. I'm gonna go through the planets once again. If I don't see anything here, I'll go to the Valhalla and check out there. And if it's not there, then I don't know what the fucking plan is. Look it up. But I don't know how to look up which specific two things am I, the idiot, missing. Unless there's, like, known certain ones that don't show up with this pickup collectible thing. Because the only other option that I have is to not beat the game today, go through this map on my own afterwards, and just, like, mark it compared to a map that someone has online. And just be like, yeah, okay, I got that, I got that, I got that, I got that, I got that. And just see if one doesn't appear on here, or whether I'm just an idiot and I missed one somewhere here. But, like, I'm not seeing anything here. Because that connects through to here, right? Yeah, we connected all that up. So that was a cool moment. Like, connecting up, like, these two disparate parts through something. That was a cool moment. And it was only in post-game, and it wasn't required to do at any point during the actual game, and yeah. People might call me whingy, but I don't know. I know, I feel like I'm bringing up good points with the series. Is I don't know actually how common my thought is. I know there's a lot of people that disagree with me with Echoes, but also I think everyone who disagrees with me on Echoes happened to be a person who watched my series on it. In general, I don't know how many people disagree with it. But the thing is, I know the general consensus along a lot of people is that Prime 1 is the best. I know, like, the zeitgeist idea of the series is that, yeah, Prime 1's the best, like, and it definitely is. But in terms of people who just, like, think that, yeah, 2 and 3 are kind of weak, and, like, the main core structure of the two games is, like, just makes them worse. Which, again, I'm aware. I'm bringing it up yet again, but I'm literally just checking through maps right now, and I don't know. I don't know. It's just for a long time in this game, I haven't really had much to talk about, because I feel like the game makes everything clear, and then, you know, my thoughts on that are clear. It's not to say the game's bad, it's just, you know, I have my preferences, and it's Prime 1. Okay, how about this? How about we flip the table? Does anyone have any games that they like as much as Prime 1 in the same way that Prime 1 is good? And I'm now realizing that I'm just asking everyone to say the words Hollow Knight at me, which I do own on Switch physically, and I definitely plan on LPing it one day. I don't know, whenever I hear about good Metroidvanias, the one that always is brought up immediately is Hollow Knight. That's always the one that's brought up first, of just like, yo, what are other good Metroidvania? Hollow Knight, do Hollow Knight. It's always the immediate response. So, yeah, no, Hollow Knight that's definitely a plan for the future. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the thing is, I definitely like the concept of Metroidvanias. Hell, I did Guacamelee on the channel. I fucking loved that. But also, I will say for Guacamelee, not as a criticism or anything, but just in terms of how long it's been since I played it, I don't know how Guacamelee holds up compared to Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 as a Metroidvania, in terms of use power-ups, backtrack to previous places with that power-up to unlock new things, or how much of it is get power-up to use in a couple of rooms' time, or go back 1 or 2 rooms to use power-up there. I have no idea how Guacamelee holds up in that regard. I've got no fucking clue at all whether it is, like, great at that or bad at that. I've got no idea. It's been long enough. I definitely have, there's only certain games in my mind where I'll distinctly remember design decisions or like overall things a lot of years down the line. For most games, when time passes enough, I'll remember my general vibe of what I liked and didn't like about the game, but bringing up more specifics or getting deeper into it, it's harder for me to do because, again, memory. So if I had to say at this point, is Guacamelee good at doing the Metroidvania stuff that I like about 1? Like backtracking between all different areas without that backtracking being like super tedious and annoying to get everywhere? Is it like, do you create enough natural paths between areas that if you want to go somewhere, it's nice and simple to get to? Or while you're going to somewhere where you remember, oh, I can use this power up to go get that. On the way, I can make I can literally plot out a course of a number of things to pass. So it's not like I'm traveling halfway across the map to do one thing. I'm making a pathway that goes halfway across the entire map. But I'm making detours or stops at specific points along this one long pathway to do all of these things of all these other things that I've gotten and stuff like that. How does Guacamelee do that? I have no idea at this point. It's been enough years since I've played it that I would have no idea. But I remember Guacamelee having this, like, it was a bunch of combat moves, and those combat moves would both just give you new sick ways of fighting enemies mid-combat, while also giving you new exploration tools. But I do also distinctly remember that a lot of those exploration tools were specific ability destroys specific colored block. And not all of them were naturally exploring the environment. I mean, a lot of those, like, some of the blocks were just like, you need the super speed to run through something, so there's like a shitload of them in a row, or you need the uppercut to smash through a red one. But to even reach the red one, you might need the uppercut in the first place. But sometimes it would just be, oh, you got the ability, here's a bunch of color-coordinated things to get through. Which, don't get me wrong, Prime 1 is that too. Prime 1 has a bunch of colored doors that are use specific type of beam to get through. And the thing is, even if it's like, even all the rock stuff that I literally praised earlier this session, the rocks are just an in-universe description of what it is to have a colored brick in front of you, right? Like, fundamentally, there's not an actual difference between here is a door that is colored red, you need the plasma beam to get through it, or here is a rock made of telluric alloy, you need a morph ball bomb to get through it. Like, fundamentally, in terms of how they affect the gameplay, there's no difference between those two things. They're both use specific ability to break specific obstacle directly in front of you. It's just that one of them is just, oh, I am literally doing a color coordinated thing to get through that, and the other one is, oh, I'm being given an in-universe explanation that this specific type of rock has this specific type of structural weakness. I can use this to destroy this. Nice. Like, so it just feels a bit better that it's not just destroy the colored brick that's in front of you. It's that. And like, the thing is, they're still the same, but there are the ones where it's, oh, use the power-up to naturally explore the environment more. Which is just the next step up from that colored brick in front of you, right? Like, they're all just, you need power-up to get through obstacles, but use colored beam to open colored door doesn't feel as good as use specific bomb to destroy specific block weak to that, which doesn't feel as good as you physically can't reach this area by just running around without this specific power-up, so use that specific power-up. They're all just evolutions on top of one of each other in terms of how good they feel, but fundamentally they're all the same gameplay thing. But that shit's important. It's still important, right? Like, I am someone who praises games for their mechanics. Mechanics are my favorite thing about video games, in general. Like, when it comes to what will I praise a video game for, I will praise it for its mechanics. Like, before other stuff. Typically, I'm a mechanic-focused person when it comes to games and stuff like that. It'll usually be the first thing that grabs me about a game is how do the mechanics function, right? And it's not to say that it's the most important thing, or that other things aren't as important, or that I can't love a game that has not as good mechanics but does other things well. It's just like, you know, it's the first thing that grabs you. It's just like looks may not be the most important thing for people when it comes to a romantic partner, but for a lot of people, looks are what they'll notice first. for me, it's similar. I don't notice someone's physical looks of like their body or their face or anything first, but I'll notice their clothes first, like their sense of style. That's the thing that stands out to me first. The first thing that'll grab me and captivate me about someone is if their sense of style is something that I can fuck with, literally or metaphorically, but and things like that. And for me, mechanics are just that, for video games, right? Like, they are the thing that I will notice first, and that it will be the thing that draws me in the most immediately. But it's not to say that the other things aren't as good. It's just, it won't be the first in the that jumps out at me. But like, if you have two games that function mechanically identically to each other, but their in-game lore, reasoning, or even just execution of those mechanics can very much determine how they feel to do about it. Games aren't just about strictly this is done right, this is done wrong because you did X thing like this. It's all about the feeling and the atmosphere of playing through a game. Like, you can have the exact same action happen in two different games, but they feel completely fucking different depending on the context and stuff like that. QTE's one of my favorite examples, because my favorite game of all... So the music just stung up, and I'm just like, is something about to happen here, or... I think that just happens every now and then, yeah. But yeah, this is like QTEs. My favorite game of all time, Wonderful 101, has a lot of QTEs. There's like several per level for most levels of the game. And they fucking rule. They're so fun. They add so much to the game, to the point that, like, a lot of people would very much argue that one of the best moments in Wonderful 101, hell, one of the best moments in all of video games, is a QTE in that game. But QTEs generally have a really bad negative reception across the whole spectrum of games. Why? Because in most games they're implemented shit. So like, you can have the same concept of a QTE, but the way they're included matters massively differently and stuff like that. And it's just the same applies to a Metroidvania. The whole point of a Metroidvania is every collectible that you get is, you can't pass here without X collectible. You now have X collectible. You can now pass through here. That is the core premise of how a Metroidvania functions in terms of, like, use power-ups to advance. That is what the literal basis of every single one of them is. But how that's implemented massively changes the game feel for completely different reasons. Are you just using X-colored, like, attack on X-colored block or door to just get through it? Or are you using it to traverse an environment that you see that you can now get to a thing? They're functionally the same, but the implementation is so different that the feel can be completely different. So, and I think Metroid Prime 1 does it both the best and sometimes the worst in the series. That game has the most colored doors out of anything in the entire series. The amount of times that you'll get to a dead-end pathway and the only reason you can't continue is because the colored door in front of you is a color that you don't have, as opposed to a different type of obstacle being in front of you that you can't pass, is a lot, actually, in Metroid Prime 1 compared to 2 or 3. It's actually a lot. But it does also have scan an item. It doesn't, like, scan a like, part of the environment. It doesn't tell you what power-up you need, but it tells you what it is made out of. And then you get to another power-up, and then it will tell you this stuff is good at destroying stuff made out of this material. And the feeling of that feels really good. So it's got the best and the worst at that specific function in the series. And then like if you see a grapple point and you can't cross the grapple point, that's the same as not having the blue beam for the blue door. But their function is but the feel of it is completely different. Yeah, and it's like, I feel like 2 and 3 are okay with it. I would say 3 more so just feels the weakest on that regard, because the backtracking is so much less. When you get a power-up to do a thing, it's usually a couple rooms before you get that thing that you use it. Which in some cases makes it quicker, but also it just makes it less interesting, because you're still just going down the same pathway. It's not like, oh, I've got to remember this thing for when I come back to it later. But, like, and I do get why it's done like that, right? It's done so people don't get stuck. Like, there is a point in Metroid Prime 1 where you get the double jump. And where you use the double jump to continue the story is, like, I think way back in the Magma Caverns. I think there's one specific, like, metal grating that you can double jump up to from a different metal grating with the space jump boots. And that is how you continue the story, or the critical path progression. But if you don't remember that this one specific, like, platform in Magma Caverns had another platform next to it that was too high for you to jump to, if you don't know that and you get the double jump boots, you could be running around forever having no fucking clue where to use it. Where in this game, it goes too far the other way of just like, oh, I got the Nova Beam. I guess I used that on the thing that I had to use the Nova Beam on like 4 rooms ago. And stuff like that, where Echoes, like, I wouldn't say Echoes struck a balance, but like it had to explore an individual area, but you had to go across more of that individual area to use a power up. But you would also know it was somewhere in this area, so it wasn't that much. Again, like, I think like it's the most satisfying in Prime 1 to work out what the critical path progression is with your power up. But also, if you're not playing like I did, if you're not writing everything down, for Prime 1, in terms of, oh, I can use this here, I can use this here, whenever you pick up a new thing, you might have no fucking clue where to use it, and then it takes you a million years to find out where to use it. Like, it's, again, either or. But yeah. Anyway, let me read this thing. I spend too much of this series just talking about my overall thoughts of the series, that I feel like everyone knows what my thoughts is, and I'm explaining basic little shit in terms of Metroidvania game design, but I like talking about my thoughts. It's kind of the point of why I do this. So, you know, I'm aware I get long-winded sometimes, but hey, this is what I'm passionate. I'm passionate about video games, alright? Video games. Planet Talon 4, formerly a Chozo colony, was struck by a stellar object 50 years ago. Object was later determined to contain large quantities of Phazon. Hiccups. The Chozo were able to stave off the spread of Phazon at the cost of many Chozo lives. The survivors abandoned the planet, fleeing to an unknown location. Decades later, Hunter Samus Aran responded to a distress call in the sector and discovered a space pirate Phazon mining station there. Aran eliminated both the pirate and Phazon threat from the planet, though not without cost. To the planet or to me? Or to the creation of Dark Samus, I guess also that. Because I didn't start getting fucked up then. But, you know. I did also create Dark Samus. It's a real you win some, you lose some situation, I think. Let me in! Power up! Now we're only missing 1! Yay! Where the fuck is it? Also, hey, another hint module. Nice. Thanks. Thanks. Donated, but thanks. Okay. Oh, space pirate boarding ship. Okay. It's that one from there. Okay. Damn. Even the space here looks evil. Jesus. Literally 1. There's 1 power-up. Better be in this. Was it? There's literally 1 power-up left, and it's a fucking E-tank. God damn it. No, they do show E-tanks on that thing. The bridge connecting part between the 2 separate areas of, Brio was an E-tank, and that showed up on the map. So either that one glitched out and it doesn't show on the map, or I'm an idiot and it's somewhere on the map and I just completely missed it, or it's in here. Did I already get an E-tank here? I actually don't remember. I remember getting some power-ups last time I was here, but I do not remember what any of them were. Again, also a criticism of power-ups across the entire series. Of just individually, they don't matter that much. I feel like the main reason that, like, the only reason that I wasn't bored of missile expansions in Prime 1 is, 1, it was the first game. So it was just like, oh, cool, I'm getting more powerful. Where 3 games later, it's all of the power-ups I get are just the same thing again as the previous games of just get more of the number. But again, also the super missile thing in the first game. Because super missiles were so good in the first game because you didn't have any other options that were that powerful until like the plasma beam right at the end of the game. Like plasma beam, sorry. Yeah, plasma beam was powerful, but like until you got that, which was one of the final power-ups you got in the entire game. I think it was like literally the second last power-up, right? You had to use the plasma beam to like get the phase-on suit from memory. I could have the wrong order in that. Well, I don't have the wrong order. The phase-on suit's definitely the last power-up you get. But there might have been some more that you need before that. I don't remember. But for so much of Prime 1, super missiles were just the bee's fucking knees. They were just so good. Boss fights, enemies, everything. Like, they were just your best shit in almost every situation for so long. Whereas just in the next two games, well, it doesn't even exist in this game, right? Does it? I don't even know. It doesn't exist in this game, right? No, it doesn't exist in this game. Yeah. So I say, has it? Isn't there? Did the super missile exist in Prime 2? Honest to God, I now don't even remember. Which, if it did exist in that game, I guess shows its impact in that game. I remember using the super missile in Prime 1 all the fucking time. The flying enemies, it was like the best way to kill those flying fuckers that appeared all the time, like the flying space pirates. It was great against just like damaging the shit out of bosses. But honestly, God, I don't even remember if it was in 2. It's not in this one. I don't know, I feel like its replacement was meant to be the Seeker missile. But I don't care about the Seeker missile. The Seeker missile was good against like that, there was that boss in 2 where you had to like shoot at its wings or something with the Seeker missile, and that was cool. Like you blew up all of its wing parts at once and it like fucked it up. I can't even be misremembering how that even functioned. But I don't know. But I don't even remember in that game whether a Seeker missile did or did not exist. But yeah. Brrr, I'm killing everything. I'm on a murder frenzy. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. No, I don't even remember. Which I guess, again, if it was in Prime 2, it shows the impact that it had in Prime 2, because I don't even remember if it existed. But I don't know, because it used five missiles at once, and stuff like that, it was a big deal when you got another missile expansion, because it meant it was another super missile that you could fire. I mean, you still got to the point where you had like, alright, I've got 160 missiles, I don't need more. Using the super missiles, I'll get enough missile pickups back. Like, I don't know if there's been a single moment in this entire game where I've had to worry about how many missiles I have. I can't think of a single time where that's been a problem in this game. And to be honest, even with using all the super missiles in the first game, I don't remember if I ever ran out, but it felt like I could more. So it felt like it mattered more than anything else. And everything opens up here. Okay. Oh, it's another one! I guess this one's not... okay, so there's 2 of them that are optional and 1 of them that isn't. Okay. I guess that's how it works then. Because there's no way you can avoid this one. So they give... okay. So they give you 2 optional and 1 that you have to do. Okay. Interesting. Huh? I don't trust that. I didn't even rip off a single one of its balls. I didn't even lay a finger on a single one of its dicks. What? Why did it... Okay. Did I happen to just accidentally shoot its insta-kill weak point? Do they have that? I guess I have the Nova Beam. Maybe the back of its head is phasite and you can kill it with that? And I just happened to accidentally shoot it? Maybe? I'm so confused how that thing just died instantly. Or maybe because that's the one that you have to fight during this, it's designed to be easier to kill because you have to fight it for this? Oh, that's fucked up! That's fucked up! It was still carrying a body. It was still having its lunch. What the hell? Oh, Metroid, you're so fucked up. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, What did I just say? I said, get out of here. I'll be honest, in a short spot like this, I don't even know how to dodge them, so I'm kind of just letting them hit me. I mean, they drained me how many times and I lost 7 damage then? It's not like it matters. Which again, damage at this point probably shouldn't. If I had to go and try and get 100% in this game and I had to like fight for my survival seriously the whole time, I wouldn't have done it. So I guess it's a good thing that it doesn't matter. But still, okay. Target was part of an energy generation system that fed into the ship's Aurora unit. With a lot of dead as shit people here. On her incident. Ah! Luminoth, okay. Planet Aether, home of the Luminoth, was struck by a phazon meteor 5 decades ago. The impact had catastrophic effects on the already unstable planet, creating a dark twin of the planet and a dire race known as the Ing. A brutal war between the twin planets took place, with the Ing gaining the upper hand. The GFS Tier went to the sector to investigate pirate activity, but were forced to make an emergency landing on Aether. Shortly after, the entire crew of Tier was attacked and annihilated by the Ing. Hunter Samus Aran was sent to investigate, and wound up entangled in the local conflict. Aran fought against both space pirates and Ing, and arose victorious. Aether's dark twin vanished, taking with it the Ing horde, and the planet's peace was finally restored. After the Aether incident, the Federation sent the GFS Anher back to Aether to deal with the pirate base. Upon arrival, the crew and marines of the Anher assisted the native Luminoth in dismantling an abandoned space pirate mining facility. During the operation, the crew detected the presence of phazon. The ship's crew investigated and collected several kilograms of ore, which would later lead to the development of the PED. You're literally using space pirate technology to make our technology. Dude, what the fuck's wrong with y'all? Seriously. Trooper pieces have been caught before being impaired with a pirate melee weapon. I feel that that glowing thing's very important. This is going to be the codes. 783. I'll write that down as well. I'll write that 2 lines beneath the double dick. 78356. Should I just call this phone number and see what it says? Call it and see what it says. Big battle here. Bioform died from internal bleeding from assault rifle weapons. Melee weapon is missing. Pirate corpse is filled with runes from a Federation Marines assault rifle. Big battle here. Trooper was violently thrown against the wall. Subject's neck is broken. Ouch. Target's body suffered a large number of energy burns from phazon-based weaponry. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, that's how we get the command codes for it. Literally, one of their ships, like, crashed into theirs. Oh, fuck. Wow, okay. What is this? Enter the code to access the backup data files of the ship. Oh, this is where that is. Okay. I will enter that long-ass... Can I enter that long-ass code that we got just then? Okay, try that again with hitting the right buttons. Seven, 3, 6. I can't enter the same number twice. Okay. And a lot of these have the same number twice. I guess this is not where I enter that giant code that I found. I'll be honest, I don't know where I enter that. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Our efforts to repel the space pirate boarding force have failed. They have successfully removed the primary mounting structure around our stasis tank. It is obvious now that they intend to extract us from the Valhalla. It is vital that the Federation receive this transmission, severing main power. A large bioform is creating a wormhole. Implant into sentient planet, which is the source of all phases.
They're literally trying to fuse the Aurora unit with phase itself.
Darkness coming.
I mean, not a good thing. Not a good thing, I will say. Just my opinion. Ah, shit, right. Okay, that's X love heart. Hey, we got the code. Pirate code acquired.
The data you just acquired appears to be a space pirate Leviathan command code.
Fuck yeah, we did.
It is likely that this code could allow us to control the Leviathan in orbit above the pirate home world. Find a way onto the Leviathan and use that code.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Okay. Oh, nice, cool, sick. You know what? I literally am unable to get. But here's what I'm gonna do. Might be a bit blue ballsing, but I'm gonna go back to the ship and end it here. Primarily because we're one pickup short and it's not appearing on the fucking map. Which is very annoying. So I'm going to go and try and work out where the fuck it is. And I'm not going to just sit here for the next half an hour still recording while I try and find that out. So we'll come back. I'll try and do this if you're watching it live. I'll try and do it tomorrow, which also means that for the YouTube it should go up not long after this. I imagine it should be a pretty quick thing. Just got to get one last power up and then do the end of the game. Although I have no idea how long the end of the game is going to be. It's also that the end of the game could be another hour or two, like to actually do the final planet. I have no idea how long that would be. It's been short in the previous games. Nothing to say it will be short in this game though. But because I don't know where it is, because the game's not showing me, or I'm an idiot and I can't see it, I will find out where it is on my own time, and we'll come back and quickly beat the game. Really didn't think I'd just not be able to get the very last one. Kind of irritating. Why am I killing you? Let's go through the door. Me worrying about getting this final E-tank. Also me running through everywhere just tanking all the damage. No, I imagine the final boss, if it's going to be on the planet of fucking Phazon, I have a funny feeling I will probably need to use hyper mode and burn through a lot of health for it. It's like, I have a limited amount of missiles, but I have 255 of them, and I don't use them that often. But hyper mode, I can use hyper mode as many times as the health bars that I have. So, an extra one of those is good. Especially considering I get less ammo to use hyper mode. every single time I take damage. So probably a good thing for me to do that. But yeah. That's annoying. But I just can't find this one lost fucking... whatever. Whatever. Jesus Christ. God damn it. Bonk. Anyway, I'm gonna save it and we'll end it there. I will spend today looking it up and we'll do this soon, I swear. We'll do it soon, I swear. God damn it. One power up and it's just... I thought the game was gonna make it easy for me by just showing me where they all were. And then it missed the last one. It was the most important one. Anyway, we'll find it then. Maybe the game actually wanted you to find this. Maybe it's something to do with that code that I found. And it's like a super secret final thing. And I've just got no idea where to enter a code. Because if I have found any other command consoles in this entire game where I could use a code, I have no idea where the fuck that is. Because it's been months since I've played this. Or at least those parts of it. So I will end it here. Next time, we'll actually beat the game. Because there's fuck all left to do. Other than the end of the game and a single power-up. So, God. Oh, man. It's going to be like 4.5 hours total of just getting everything. So much more than it was in Prime 1. But again, I was at way higher percentage in Prime 1 compared to this. So, until then, this is version 2. Signing out.